Good evening all, and welcome to your West Ham Transfer Rumour Show, where, well, guess what? We discussed the West Ham Transfer Rumours. Lots of them. Not very much happening though. Day 12 of the transfer window, players signed 0. Rumours about 100. And we're here to discuss a few and update you on some that we've already discussed, because last time, Gonzo, we did a transfer show. We thought Darren Randolph was pretty much a hammer. And to be fair, we weren't wrong. Everything was agreed with the club, everything was agreed with the player. But since then, he's failed the medical. We've analysed the injury and there's been no news. It's gone quiet. It's just disappeared.
Well, that's progress, at least for West Ham, because there have been times at West Ham where we might have analysed the injury, taken a look at it, and tried to find a way to circumvent it so we could get the deal over the line. And of course, the last thing we need at the moment, Geo, is an injured goalkeeper. So
I'm worried that's what they're doing, though.
Well, no, surely not. Surely no. Surely they've gone quiet because they're a bit embarrassed we can't bring Randolph in. It was probably a good deal, as we've discussed on numerous times, because it means we can just close the financial commitment with Middlesbrough, who still owe us money. It made sense from financial reasons. I imagine it's quite an embarrassing situation in that sense, and they probably feel a bit bad for Randolph, and probably Moyes does, and all the rest of it. But no, he's injured. We're going to need a very, very fit goalkeeper. That's for sure. We've been pretty damn unlucky what with injuries and goalkeeper recruitment. This is one signing we have got to get absolutely right. You asked me before we started this, Gio. You said, have you heard of any rumours? I have heard a rumour, actually, and it is about a goalkeeper. It's okay. It's okay, by the way. It's not going to be.
I might have the goalkeeper. I might have
Hannibal Lecter or anyone like that.
I might have him on my list. I've got a couple of keepers here to go through. The latest rumour for Randolph, for people watching, is that tomorrow he's getting reassessed, but West Ham are actually pushing for Randolph to be assessed at Borough. They're wanting Borough to do the analysis on his injury, if you like. What the reason is, it's not to save money or anything like that. Before someone says it, we're not that tight yet. Apparently, it's in case he breaks down or something. It's a case of, well, it's your player, he's broke down, you deal with it, see you later, kind of thing. So that's what it is. My perspective on this has changed massively since Friday night, Gonzo, because of the injury to Fabianski. Prior to that, I thought, do we need another keeper? I'm happy with David Martin and stuff. Regardless of Martin's error, an injury to Fabianski means my things change hugely, because no keeper between now and the Everton game means Roberto on the bench at least for the Everton game. We need a goalkeeper now. We need a keeper. It depends on how serious Fabianski's injury is, of course, but given that he's already broken down, I don't think we can gamble. Even if Fabianski was okay for Saturday, I don't think you can gamble he's going to be okay for the rest of the season. You have to assume he's going to get injured again, and I think goalkeeper now becomes arguably the number one priority for this window.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Clearly, it's something we've got to sort out. I don't like what you said, because that only really makes sense if we can only bring one player in. More to the point, I would rephrase it and say central midfield is still our priority for this window, but you need to find some more money, and some of it's going to have to be for a goalkeeper. And you can't wait for any of these guys. This is a transfer show. You can't wait anymore. You've got to bring players in now. This is now. We dillied and we dallied for too long over getting rid of Pellegrini. It ultimately cost us points. Many points. Maybe 9, Gio, right? Maybe as many as 9. You can't dilly-dally now, because but I don't know how many games are between now and the end of the transfer window, but it could make a difference between us staying up or going down. A player brought in on the 30th is no good. We need him in. All right, it might be a bit of a push for tomorrow, but we need him in before the Everton game, and arguably 2 in before the Everton game to get in, medical done, registration done, and ideally a day on the training pitch as well.
I'm not suggesting we chuck money at the goalkeeper situation. I'm just getting an able goalkeeper in his power. It can be a loan deal for all I care. I don't really mind who it is, I do mind who it is, but I don't mind how they get the deal done, as long as they get an adequate keeper in. So that if he has to, he has to be better than David Martin. The aim has to be he's better than David Martin. So against Everton, he starts and David Martin's on the bench. But anyway, a couple of goalkeepers we're linked with. Neil Etheridge, the Cardiff goalkeeper. We've not really been linked to him in the last few days, although that may change with the Randolph situation. However, earlier today, they played Swansea and he was dropped from the first team. He was on the bench due to poor form. The Cardiff fans, I was trying to read of the Cardiff fans' reactions because I was thinking, oh, are they now thinking, oh, that's it, he's off, he's going somewhere? No, they were actually thinking, oh, brilliant, about time, he's been rubbish recently. So that's Etheridge's form for you. But he's no longer their number one keeper. Could he be more gettable? We'll find out in the next few days. A new keeper's name that has popped up, this might be your one, Gonzo. Is it the Preston one?
Yeah, it frightens the hell out of me, Gio.
Preston goalkeeper Declan Rudd is who we're being linked with today. A valuation of roughly £750,000. But to give it a little bit of context, he does only have 6 months left of his contract, which makes him a little bit cheaper. But is he a little bit championship for you, Gonzo? What's frightening you about this?
Preston. They're not championship. They're very, very particular, the team. This worries me. It worries me from a case of as soon as I heard it and as soon as I saw it, I thought this is familiar. And obviously, I'm obviously referring to Jordan Hugill here, but it's not just to Jordan Hugill. It is the fact, why did David Moyes go and get Jordan Hugill? Well, David Moyes went and got Jordan Hugill because he was at Preston, and Preston was his former club, because he knows a couple of people still at Preston. Well, more than a couple. Exactly. And this is the same. And now I'm looking at this thinking, well, I mean, this is about as far away from scouting as you can possibly get, right? This is a bloke going back to his former club. I've got a problem. He had it when he was here before. I've got a problem. I need a striker. Who shall I get? He rings up his mates in Preston. All right, you know, we've got a lad here, Hugill. You know Hugill, David, from when you come down and join us for games and have a cup of Bovril. You know, big fella, loves bubbles. Tries to head the ball in the back of the net. Oh yeah, we'll have him. And now he seems to be doing exactly. We need a goalkeeper. Where shall I go? You know, shall I send the scouts out? Shall I tap up some of my agents across the world? Shall I look at who's available? No worries. Don't worry. We'll go out to Preston. I'll tie it in with a day out by the seaside in Blackpool or something. I'll phone up my mates there and we'll get someone in from. I cannot stand it. It's no smoke without fire. I didn't like it the first time with Hugill. If you're bored enough to trawl back to that video when it was announced, and I don't like it now. I really don't. A cheap goalkeeper from Preston. Leave it out. You said you don't mind about the money, about the loan. Neither do I. But let's get it right. Let's go and source someone decent. I would rather choose a Nang. All right. I'd rather get Trot back, and if we can't do that, I'd rather go and get whoever Manchester United's second choice. Henderson's all right. You know, whatever. I'd rather do something like that, Gio.
Yeah. To give this one a little bit of context, I had a look at who his agent was straight away. I thought, hello, I was a bit like you. His agent isn't the same one as Hugo's. It's not Moyes' brother. He's signed with a big agency which has a lot of Premier League players on their books as well. Stellar Group is a big agency when it comes to Premier League player contracts and whatnot. There is talk among the Preston fans that they believe that this is very much him trying to get a new contract. They're leaking this late. They've seen a link there. West Ham need a keeper. Moyes is there. Let's put this out there. Get him a new deal. Get him a bit more cash on his contract. But the one other thing is, I've thought of this, but I should have researched this. Someone can research this if you're really interested. He did have a season at Norwich City, Rod, and Irvine used to be at Norwich City as well, so Irvine might have had him at Norwich City when he was there. So while Moyes was at Preston but he never had Hugo, Irvine might have been at Norwich at the same time as Declan Rudd and seen what it was all about. So it might be slightly different, but I can't blame you for your thought process, because it's, you know, you've had your fingers burnt, haven't you? But it's just a change of transfer strategy which concerns me. I've got that question coming up though, but don't worry. We'll get on to more detail. That's the goalkeeper rumours for you. And then Fernandes, what's happening with Fernandes? Well, depends what rumours you believe, but on Friday, the end of last week, it seemed it was very much possible, very much happening, depending where you look, and he was going to be sort of on the move very, very soon. There was social media hints put out not just by Fernandes, but also with his Portuguese teammates that are at West Ham, the likes of Deju, they were talking to each other on Instagram, coming soon, see you soon kind of thing. They were very much hinting, flirting. So you can be very much forgiven for believing that this deal was close to being done. However, it looks like he's off to Spurs. They've come in at the last minute. It's an 18-month loan deal with the option to buy at the end of it. It's quite a big fee, 35 million, 40 million or something like that. Are you disappointed to miss out on this if it's true? I mean, there is a lot of smoke that he's going to Spurs though.
No, not particularly, Gio, I must say. I think he's played 26, 27, 28 times for Benfica. Not scored many goals, not got many assists. Can't get in their team at the moment. I see precious little evidence to suggest why he might be worth 50 million or 30 million or 60 million, whatever, depending on what website you read, at the end of any contract. Looked at some assorted videos of him. Looks very much, he's a good size, looks athletic. Tick that box. Yes, he does. But what does he seem to do? Well, he seems to occupy the final third quite a lot. And his main trait appears to be dribbling past players. Now, Geo, I think that is an attribute worth having. I really do. I just don't think it's an attribute that West Ham need. I think Felipe Anderson will do that. I think Lanzini will also do that. I've seen 2 or 3 of the games. It was basically, one of the videos I saw was 10 games all put together. 3 of them he was on the wing. Okay? And well, you watch my lunchtime video tomorrow, you'll see what I think about wings and 3-5-2s and things like that, right? I don't think he's got what we want. I don't think he's what we need. We need somebody who's going to put his foot in, who's going to be athletic, going to be strong, and arguably is a very, very good long passer. We need somebody to help Declan Rice out. We need an engine in the middle. I don't think we need someone either wide or in the final third dribbling past players. And so I don't think he's the right guy anyway. I'm not even entirely sure he's what Tottenham need, quite frankly, Gio. From what I watched them play last night, as you know. No, I cannot be disappointed as somebody I didn't know about a little while ago, who since I've looked at, I thought, actually, no, he's not there. And on an 18-month loan deal, which didn't really have any benefits for us as a club anyway. If anything, I'm pleased.
I've got mixed feelings. I think he was a player with great potential, as someone that's raved about a little bit. I don't do what you do and watch things on YouTube, because I think it can do what you've just done. You judge him a little bit, and I think that's a bit harsh, actually. You're seeing him on sort of, what's the word? Someone's giving you that highlights, and I could go make a video of him and make him look bad, and I can go make a video of him and make him look really good. It just depends how much I want to do it, really. So I try not to stay away, but I know a lot of people do. My one concern with this is, it's an 18-month loan deal because you're buying him for next season. Well, you're loaning him for next season, essentially. We're not in that position. We're not in that position to give someone 6 months to adapt to the Premier League and we'll get ready for next season, because we could have been in the Championship. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe they thought, we'll get this guy in, at least if we go down, we've got an amazing centre midfielder in the Championship here that can run rings around people. We can offload whoever, Felipe Anderson. We've got the guy's replacement already here on loan. Happy days. I don't know. I don't think so. But I think we're missing out on a good player, a potentially good player. The finances, option to buy and all that, I'm not too fussed about things like that, in all honesty, because a loan is just that. It's a loan. You're getting a shot of a player, and as long as he does well for 18 months, and yes, it's disappointing. You take a £15 million player, polish him up, and he goes away as a £60 million player. But that's the risk you take. He might also come as a £50 million player and go away as a £5 million player. That's the risk. You reap the rewards. If he turned into a 60 million one, then he's been absolutely amazing for a whole season. You've benefited from that, and it's cost you very little. So I see very little sort of negatives about a loan deal in some sense. So that's the Fernandes thing. Possibly a Spurs player this week. One rumour that came out at the end of this week, which has sort of disappeared a little bit, is Issa Diop to Chelsea. £40 million price tag. Did you see this? I mean, first of all, it was Chelsea sources saying they want a centre back for around about £40-50 million. They didn't name him. But process of elimination, you're only left with a handful. Diop, Nathan Ake, the Leicester boy, Soyuncu, how you pronounce his name. That's about it. I think that's about the only 3 you're left with. And then it came out that it was actually Diop. It's a bit low, 40 million.
Yeah, absolutely. Regardless of whether he's on a bit of a downer at the moment because he's out the team. But I think he's out the team. Well, namely because Pellegrini dropped him out of the team. He wasn't a player that particularly suited Pellegrini's tactics anyway. He's going to need to get in. He's going to need to prove himself to Moyes. But I have no doubt that Issa Diop is an excellent player. He's one of the best young centre-backs around. He captained Toulouse at 19. If anybody's watched any of those videos that the club put out about him larking around, he clearly is a bit of a character. He's clearly got quite a lot about him as well. He's clearly very popular in the dressing room. His English is good. by the way. I just think he's a fantastic player. I think he's got almost every attribute that a centre-back needs. I think he's somebody that needs a settled run in the team and could do with playing under a manager who knows how to organise a defence, which he's not had as yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he got sold, and he got sold to, let's say he didn't go to Chelsea, let's say he went to somebody else, a different club for 40 million. I'm pretty sure you'd see him within 2 years getting sold for 80 million, like Harry Maguire, something like that. If he goes to Chelsea, would he be? No, because Chelsea don't need to sell anyone. Chelsea are a rich club, so they wouldn't. But it is too low. Is he worth, at the moment, is his standard of his play 40 million? No. But for all the reasons that you said about getting a loan in, and it's no risk and all the rest of it, actually, the opposite applies to this. We did take the risk. Because actually, we paid 24 million quid for somebody very, very young. So we did take the risk. And with the risk comes the reward. And I'll tell you what, we should hold out. We should hold out on this. Not only should we hold out on this, if David Moyes is going to be playing free at the back, he needs to try and find a place for him in the team.
Yeah, I completely agree, really. In the summer, when the £70 million thing with Man United was getting touted about, I was tempted. I was really, really tempted. I was thinking, you know what, I would understand completely if they sold him for £70 million and tried to go to get a centre-back for around the £30 million price and use the money elsewhere. Maybe in hindsight we should have done that, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? £70 million come up now, I think they probably would sell, and they'd think, hang on, we've seen what he can be a bit iffy. I don't believe this rumour for a start. I don't think Chelsea need him. Chelsea, I've got Rudiger in there and Tomori, who's arguably the same, possibly even better than Issa Diop, and roughly the same age. I'm not sure he gets into their team, to be honest with you, and that's the last thing Diop needs. Chelsea, Lampard needs a couple of experienced heads in there to play around his younger side. He doesn't need Diop in there, and he's at the lowest value he's been since he arrived at West Ham, essentially. 40 million is not enough because he can get better. He will get better. He just needs a bit of time, a bit of faith. He's not having a great season so far, but the fact that he's not having a great season and he's still worth media talk 40 million is a big compliment, and it shows just how good this boy could be. So keep a hold of him, get him playing well. If the summer a big bid comes in, then we reconsider it, but until then, nah, we're keeping him. We need players in, not players out. What other player being linked to? Centre midfielder from Inter Milan. Don't get too excited, it's another loan deal. Roberto, I'm going to say this wrong, Gargaladini. Ever heard of him? 25-year-old centre midfielder?
No, it's just another loan. We got more loans than Barclays Bank, for goodness sake. It's ridiculous. When we're going to go and buy somebody, it drives you around a twist. Oh, sorry, Gongola who?
Gargaladini or something, I don't know. I can't even read my own writing, even if I could. I don't know if I could pronounce it then.
I thought you were gargling some mouthwash then or something. No. Listen, I don't know. He might be brilliant. I'd imagine not if Inter Milan want to loan him out.
Well, this is the thing, actually. Inter don't want to sell him. Now, I think there's a play on words there. There's nothing about the loan, but the rumour was that... this is coming from Nicolo, by the way. Oh, I should have said that, actually. This is from Nicolo, the agent who had a big thing in Felipe Anderson and Sebastian Aller. But I'll get on to his source in a second. However, it's him that put this out. He says, Inter don't want to sell, and we're trying to loan him. Now, to me, there's a... that could happen, and he's not played that many games. I had a look. He's played some games, but very much fringe player.
Well, we'll see about that agent, because whilst that agent got the Haller thing right, and whilst he got the Anderson thing right, if Fernandes goes and signs for Tottenham, then he's got that one wrong, hasn't he? Because he said he was coming to West Ham. So I think if you're going to praise someone for getting it right, you know you've got to count when they get it wrong as well. So. We'll see about that. He's got a black mark in the book. Well, he's not quite on Father Christmas's naughty list at the moment. On Gonzo's naughty list, should I say? But he's got a little black mark in the book. I'm not sure of his accuracy. So we'll see. If that Fernandes doesn't sign for West Ham or Tottenham, then he don't know what he's talking about at all. So I won't pay a blind bit of notice. So old Gargaladini or whatever his name is, he might be made up. Might not be a real player, Gio.
I had a look. He's a real player. His source, I always thought was Enzo. I've always thought his source was Enzo. There was a link between him and Enzo. Now Enzo's gone. You do think, have you still got a source?
Who's Enzo?
He was Pellegrini's coach. The guy that got credited with the Chelsea win. Enzo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the mastermind.
Yeah, the mastermind. I think him and Nicolo know each other, I think. So I've always thought that was his source. Now that Enzo's gone, he's gone and got his first West Ham news incorrect. So, busted. Now we know your source, Nicolo. It was Enzo. So I'm going to try and get in touch with Enzo, because clearly he's happy to leak stuff, isn't he?
Yeah.
Enzo, where are you going next? Because you want to chuck us some news from that club?
What really happened in the final meeting with Sullivan? Yeah, let's go. Let's get the story, mate.
Yeah, quite. Right, Yarmolenko, rumour he could be going out on loan. Another loan deal, but this time it's out. I mean, what would the point in that be? I know you'd clear a little bit of wages, but for what? You essentially loan out a £20 million player, because that's what we paid, and what?
Right, well,
you can't.
Well, I don't think he is. Okay, listen, we've had our pants pulled down a little bit on the Yarmolenko deal, because he's not worth anywhere near that. We basically bought a broken player, and we've paid over the odds for him. He is mostly broken, certainly for more than half the time, possibly for as much as 70% of the time. Yarmolenko is broken. I think you've just got to accept sometimes. Do you know what? I bought a car with my wife like that about 2 years ago, and sometimes you've got to just stop trying to repair the bloody thing and just sell it, because it's costed you too much. Not the wife, the car, because it's costed you too much money. On this one, I think we paid the money. We've got to write the money off, but I think we've got to try and offset some of the liability on the wages. So actually, if he's not going to feature in David Moyes' team, and you have to assume he won't if he's getting loaned out, by the way. If he's getting loaned out, David Moyes has no future for him. You've got to offset those wages. And I don't think it's a little bit of wages. If he's on 70, 80 grand a week, that's quite a lot of money.
Yeah, but
if you can loan him out for the rest of the season.
Who's going to pay the whole 70, 80 grand a week? It's very unlikely. Someone might come along and say, I'll give you 30 grand a week of it, or whatever. Then what's the point? You're paying someone else to have him. And this guy can score goals when he's fit. He might not be fit for very long, but we're now at the point in the season. We've just seen the results today. Watford have just won. They're now level points with us, okay? This is crunch time. Between now and the end of the season, about 8 teams have essentially got a cup final every single week until match day 38, and we're in one of them, right? We need goals. That's what we need. So if this guy's fit for 5 games, I'd rather have him on the bench than a Jetty, because I know he can come on and score. He is a goal scorer. We need, even if he just won us 1 game, it's worth him. It's worth keeping him in the squad. Financially, it's worth it, because he then pays it back with the money you get for staying up and stuff. I know it's difficult because it's a team game, blah 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 blah, but my point is, he knows where the net is. We don't have many of them at the football club right now, and if you're loaning him out and he was to go somewhere else and start scoring goals, and we're struggling for goals, well, then what? He scores goals. You cannot put a price on that. I know what you're saying about wages, 20 million and stuff like that, but you cannot put a price on goals, especially when you're in a relegation fight. Aston Villa would bite your hand off right now for a goal scorer, because they ain't got one. Well, they've got Grealish, but they don't have a striker. 2 games in a row now, they've played with no actual striker. He knows where the net is.
Maybe he does, but you know what? If he's got no future under Moyes, he ain't going to get on the pitch to score those goals anyway.
Well, what about in the summer?
Even if someone is going to pay only half his wages and give us 40 million, we can go and, we probably wouldn't have to pay all of Gonadini's wages or whatever. So,
Yeah, but he won't be on as much. You don't get paid as much over there as you do independent. These like top dollar wages. That's why people come here. We've already done enough cost saving this season in terms of wages. Letting Fernandes go, Andy Carroll's gone and stuff. We've already saved the wages. Let's stop pissing around with wage bill and stuff. We've already done too much, if anything. It's now time to start being a little bit, not careless, but a little bit loose with the purse strings. It's time to start.
No. You won't get to the next level if you start throwing money around you.
No, but just on the short term, in terms of loans and stuff, if someone's on 100 grand a week, but he's a damn good player, you get him in, you pay him 100 grand a week till then, and then you go again in the summer, you reevaluate and stuff. But we've saved so much between August and now, we can afford to be a little bit adventurous between now and May in order to secure our Premier League status, because it could look cheap in the long run if we stay up. I don't know. This is not the window to looking at. If we were sitting where Palace is or Sheffield United, I'd be all for it. Yeah, let's start trimming the wage bill for summer so that we're in a better position. But we ain't. We're down the bottom. Can't take risks. Not for me. Any other rumours you've seen?
No, I don't know.
I was going to talk about the change of transfer strategy, but it's 25 minutes we've been chatting for, and we're going to do a cup of tea tomorrow. So I'm going to save it for a cup of tea because I want to have a discussion about it. There's been a change of strategy, and I don't like it. I want to have a little rant about it. But anyway, there you go. There's your West Ham transfer rumours. Gonzo, rate the transfer window out of 10. Sorry, you gave it a 3 last time. Has it gone down a little bit? I'm now a 2.
Yeah, I think it has to be, doesn't it? Unless Declan Runt comes in, or whatever his name is. What's his name?
Declan Rudd, yeah.
Yeah. Unless he comes in, they might have tweaked it up to a 3 because we need a goalkeeper. Well, anyone from Preston will do. Quite frankly, Geo, any position from Preston, we get them all from Preston. Preston reserves, get them in. But it's a 2. It's going really badly. And they do. In all seriousness, I joke, but they need to sharpen up, Geo. As I said, the most important thing is to get players in. We need at least one player in this week. We really do. I think our biggest priority is centre midfield. Our biggest priority this week is probably right back, I would say. Because I can't... Well, all right, right wing back. Because I don't think we can go into another game with Zabaleta there. And that may even be Johnson getting fit or whatever and ready to go. I think we can probably work out. We can probably do something different in central midfield and get away with it for another game or so. All right. I think if Martin is fit and doesn't make another mistake, you can probably patch that up in goal until we get another goalkeeper. And I don't think there's any sticking plaster for right wing back. Sorry. If I'd be very disappointed if David Moyes wasn't saying to David Sullivan, both of them, I hope you're out trying to make a deal happen. I need a player in within the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think it's keeper for me. I don't want to see Martin start against Everton. It's not because of his mistake. It's because he's just back from the same injury that Fabianski had. We've just witnessed someone break down with the exact same injury. I don't mind him starting. I just don't want Roberto on the bench. I do not want him on the bench because there's a possibility he will end up in the goal, and I do not want any possibility of Roberto in goal whatsoever. I want to rule that out straight away. I'd rather have Anang in there on the bench on Saturday against Everton. Slightly off topic a little bit, but that's why keeper is a must for me this week. Arguably a right back as well, and a centre midfielder between now and the end of the window. I say that, end of the window. There's about 5 games between now and the end of the window. They've got to get him in next week even. We're halfway through the window now. We've done nothing. This window's not a surprise. It's not crept up on us. We've known about it since the last one shut. We've known this one was coming. It's not good. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're around here. As I said earlier, me and Gonzo are doing a cup of tea tomorrow evening, Monday evening, so it might be tonight, depends where you're listening to it. So if you've got any questions for cup of tea, drop it in the comments below. I will be using them in the cup of tea on this video only. Don't comment on another video, it's too much hassle. This one only. I am picky. This one only. Leave your comments, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Gonzo, I'll see you tomorrow night.
You certainly will.
Just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's become a patron of Hammers Chat. We're 91% towards our first goal. If you would like more details, please click the link in the description below or the pinned tweet of this video. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow night.